I'm in Healesville, Australia, Victoria right now, and I booked this really beautiful Airbnb tiny home in the middle of freaking nowhere. And today I'm gonna give you a quick home tour. I've always wanted to stay inside a tiny home because I used to watch these YouTube videos of people building their tiny homes and I think it's super cool. So we drove up a dirt road all the way up here into the middle of nowhere of Healesville. So I'm gonna give you a quick home tour of this beautiful tiny home in Healesville, Victoria. Let's go! Okay, so super nice. As you enter the home, there is this nice walkway dividing the tiny house and a outdoor area where you can, I guess, chillax. And I believe this thing here is the power supply energy room, which is locked by the owner. And this is the tiny home. So as you come into the tiny home, you are greeted by a super nice lookout point that looks like this. The tiny home is actually really small, but the way it was built is so cool. There's also an outdoor bath here, but we're not going to use it because it's a freaking ass cold at night. So as you enter the tiny house, you can see that it is very tiny. The entire thing is made out of wood. This is the Airbnb. This house was built by Ellie and Dan. Shout out to Ellie and Dan if you're watching this video. Very nice tiny house you have here. So Ellie and Dan actually built this house in November 2020 because they were working as forest fighters protecting the wildlife and national parks and stuff, but they have since moved away. So they are renting this place out as an Airbnb, which is super cool. So this place has 20 solar panels powered by 4 batteries. There's gas stoves and a hot water and everything. It's a nice fireplace by the living area. When you walk in, you're greeted by a very nice sofa bed thing, and then what you see is what you get. This is the rest of the house, and then there is a upper deck with a queen size bed. So this tiny house is really not for people who are very tall, because even for me, I have trouble getting to the upper deck and I am like freaking short. So everything here is built sort of with some form of timber. I'm not too sure if there is, but outside is pretty cold, but inside it's actually quite nice and warm. So I suspect there's some insulation layer around, which is super cool. And as you can see, there is a whole bunch of storage here that is hidden in the stairs up to the upper deck. You can, it's actually super livable if you ask me. Bathroom is also pretty nice, quite small. So again, if you're very tall and have very broad shoulders, you might have some difficulty showering. But if you are not, then I think it's okay. Even the kitchen has double the bottom storage and top storage, and you can see the storage is very smartly made. Some are really tiny, some are like bigger. And there is a gas stove even with a, what do you call that? A hood that has a sucker. What do you call that thing? Sucker that goes outside, which is very nice. Exhaust that goes outside, which is very nice. And overall, actually very spacious for a tiny house. Shout out to Ellie and Dan. If you are somehow in Australia looking for a weekend road trip, driving out 1 hour away from Melbourne City to Healesville, consider staying here. I think the experience is pretty good so far for us. I will leave the link to this Airbnb down in the description if you would like to book. If you do come here, remember that this place is fully off the grid. There's no Wi-Fi and reception can be a bit wonky, but that's quite nice if you are looking for a getaway to get away. Haha. I guess that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the tiny house tour, and stay tuned for the other videos. See you in the next video. Peace!